Hello, welcome back. I'm Chidi Abhishek De Silva, an undergraduate of the JAMA Institute for Advanced Technology. Welcome back with the question series of Database Management System 1, and today I'm here with the question set number 48. In this question set 2, we're going to discuss the same question scenario that we had related to the database called Random School DB, and as the first question, change the first name of the fifth student on the student ID card to Amanda and make the relevant query. And as the second question, teacher ID to the first name of the teacher should be changed to Kamal, the last name to Sinadira, and the gender to male, and the phone number to the given phone number, and then the email address to kamal@gmail.com. Make the query required for that. And then as the third question, search for one Rajapaksha teacher ID using the teacher table and create the relevant query. And then as the fourth question, find the teacher ID of the teachers who teach science. To do this, search the teacher table and the teacher has subject tables. Create the required query. And then as the last question, create a view named view subject with view to view all the subjects. Use a subject table for that. Create the relevant query, and let's move to SQL software. So then as the first question, we have to update the first name of the student whose student ID is 5 to Amanda. So then let's tap the relevant update query. So at first we have to select the relevant database using the use keyword, and then inside the gray question mark we can give the database name as Random School DB, and then at last a semicolon. So then let's move to next line, and then let's type the update query, the update keyword, and then we can give the table name as the student table, and then we can use the set keyword to set new values, and then inside the gray question mark we can give the column name as first name column equals, and then inside the single quotation mark we can give the first name as Amanda, and then we can use the where clause to specify the relevant student. We're going to specify the relevant student by student ID. So then inside the question mark we give the column name as student ID and equal, and inside the single quotation mark we give the student ID as 5, and then at last a semicolon. So then let's execute this query. So then here we can see the first name has changed to Amanda of the student whose the student ID is 5. So then let's move to the second question, where it tells to update the details of the teacher table, where the teacher ID equals to 2, and we have to set the first name to Kamal and the last name to Sainadira, and also the gender and also the phone number and the email. So then let's type the update query again. We can use the update keyword here, and then we can give the database name here as Random School DB dot, and then we can choose the table here as the teacher table, and then here to we use the set keyword to set the values to our columns, and then inside the gray question mark we give the first name as first name equals to, and then inside the single quotation mark we give the first name as Kamal, and then comma, and then again inside the gray question mark we give the column name as last name column, and then equals inside the single quotation mark we give the last name as Senadira, comma, and then again inside the gray question mark we give the gender equals to inside the single quotation mark male, and then after that comma, and inside the gray question mark we can give the contact number equals inside the single quotation mark the relevant contact number the question has provided, and then again comma, and inside the gray message mark we can give the email equals to inside the single quotation mark the email, the kamal@gmail.com, and then at last we can use the where clause here to specify the relevant row. Here we can use the teacher ID to specify the relevant teacher. So inside the gray message mark we can give the column name as teacher ID and equals to, inside the single quotation mark we can give the teacher ID as 2, and at last the semicolon. So then let's execute this query. So here we can see the row with the teacher ID 2 has updated with the first name as Kamal and the last name as Nadir and the gender as male and the relevant contact number and also the email address. So then let's move to the third question. Here it tells to find the teacher ID of the teacher called Ruan Rajapaksha. So then let's type the relevant select query. So then we can use the select query here. We have to find the teacher ID. So then we can specify the column here that we need to obtain inside the question mark as teacher ID, and then we can use the from keyword, and then we're gonna find this information from the teacher table. So then at first we have to mention the database name and then dot and then the teacher table, and we can use the where clause here to specify the relevant teacher, and here we have the first name and the last name of the teacher. So then inside the question mark we can give the column name as first name column equals to, inside the single quotation mark we can give the value as 1, and then we can use the and keyword here, and then again inside the question mark we can give the column name as last name equals to, inside the single quotation mark we can give the last name as Rajapaksha, and then at last semicolon. So then let's execute this query. So here we have obtained the teacher ID of the teacher by the name Ruwan Rajapaksha as 3. So then let's move to the fourth question, where it tells to find the teacher ID of the teachers who teach science. To do this, use the teacher table and the teacher has subject tables. So then let's type the relevant select query. So then we can use the select keyword here, and here too we have to find the teacher IDs. So then here we can specify the relevant column as teacher ID. Inside the question mark we can use the from keyword here, and then we mention the database name as Ranpami School DB and then dot, and then the table name as teacher has subject, as we need to obtain the information of the teachers who teach the subject called science. So then we can use an inner join here to join the subject table also. So then we can give the table name as subject, and then we can use the on keyword to specify to which column of the teacher has subject table the subject table is linked with. So then we can give the teacher has subject table dot the subject ID equals to subject table dot the subject ID, and then we can use the where clause here, and inside the question mark we can give the subject name equals to, inside the single quotation mark we can give the subject name as science, and then at last a semicolon. So then let's execute this query. So here we have obtained the teacher IDs of the teachers who teach science subject as 4, 2 and 3. So then let's move to the last question, where it tells to create a view by the name view subject to view all the subjects. So then let's type the relevant query. As we have to create a view, we can use the keyword called create view, and then inside the question mark we can give the view name as view subject, and then we can use the as keyword, and then we can type the normal select query, where we used to find the subject that's stored in our database. So then select, here we need to find the subject name. So then we specify the relevant column as subject name here inside the question mark. So then after that we can use the from keyword, and then we can mention the table name as the subject table, and then at last the semicolon. So then let's execute this query. So here we can see a new view has created by the name view subject. So if I move the data of the relevant view, we can see all the subject that's stored in our database has listed in the view called view subject. So then in the question set number 48 we discuss about the update query and also the select query and also the create view keywords. So then let's meet to the next question set number 49, and bye for now.